What's up, guys? Gun law in Russia. Can Russians own guns? Welcome to EXPAT American. I am the EXPAT American, an American living in Moscow, Russia. And I just got off the metro in Moscow and ran over here to go live with you. And the reason why we're doing this is because we did a very popular episode called Guns in Russia. And that's probably why you're on right now. And we're going to have a couple guests on for you. And we're going to talk more specifically about guns in Russia, what the law is, what reality is, how people live here in relation to guns, because either you're a Russian and you just want to see what Westerners think of you, or you are not a Russian and you're thinking about what Russia's really like. You're considering perhaps moving here even. So without further ado, our first guest, you might know him.
Hello,
Pavel Kabanov.
guys.
Pavel, tell us, who are you?
Oh, who am I? This is a hard question.
Yes, it's
Russian
deep.
guy living in Moscow, doing stuff, making car parts by myself, running a YouTube channel.
So Pavel, guys, has been a fan favorite on my show, and he's good because he knows all the technical things. I am more of an artiste, so I don't know the technical things. And now for the gunslinger.
Hi,
Johnny
everyone.
First. What's up, man? How's it going?
Yeah, nice to see you guys.
It's great to see you, bud. So tell us, Johnny, who are you?
I'm a just good Russian guy because for a lot of people around the world, Russian guys, especially in the movie, are bad guys. So I'm a good, nice guy from Russia, from Moscow. But I'm a fan of Western gun, of cowboy shooting. So I'm a Russian gunslinger, first Russian member of Single Action Shooting Society. So it's an organization who make the cowboy shooting around the world. I'm also first Russian member of World Fast Draw Association. It's another kind of cowboy shooting. It's, you know, like in the movie from when you draw your pistol and you shoot fast from the hip without aiming.
Wow.
And I'm a founder of first Russian club of fast draw and cowboy action shooting in Russia, in Moscow.
Cool.
I work in gun business, so I'm the first who bring cowboy guns in Russia. So I organized first shipment of cowboy guns in Russia a few years ago.
Wow. Wow. Awesome, man. So the next most important question to ask you is, are you armed?
Yes, always.
Can you show us?
Right now I'm home, so not armed right now, but of course I have my single action army. If some bad guys will attack me right now, I'm ready.
Okay.
I have some lead for them.
But I guess I'm not well versed in making you big. I'm well versed in making myself big. So how's that? So show us what you got, Johnny.
Sorry?
What is that exactly? The pistol you showed us.
Actually, this one is classical Colt single action army. Unfortunately, this one is not the real one. It's a dummy for training at home just to make how to say I forgot how to the dry firing training at home. But I have 3 pair of this kind of revolver. I have 6 revolver in my shooting club, so I use the real revolvers in my shooting club.
Okay, very good, very good. Now, Pavel, you were a crack shot in the video, and I think you mentioned that you were a crack shot in your younger years. Is that true?
In my times of university, I was the member of the shooting club, the sports
Wow.
shooting in the center of the target, not like in the target itself, but in circles, like to get the maximum point
So
for the
describe that
accuracy.
for us. How does that work? Because there's a lot of Americans watching, and they think that Russia is just a primitive place. But
Mhm.
you have universities and you have shooting clubs, and you were in top form in that club. Is that right?
Yeah, I was the leader of the our team. So not all universities have the shooting clubs, the shooting range. Only some, and the main of them, of course, the University of Sports, the biggest and the best equipped one. I don't know how it's for today, but it was 15 years ago. So, and I guess in serious manner, only 3 or 4 universities in Moscow were trained to shoot for the competitions.
Really? And you were part of that.
Yeah,
So you didn't go to
I
that
was going
university
to.
for that. You just got lucky.
Yeah, I just got lucky. Exactly.
Okay. Okay. And were you the leader because you were the best shot, or because you're a super charismatic guy?
Uh, maybe both. I don't know. It's not
you
me who need to judge about such things.
you are a
You
super
tell me.
charismatic guy. That's why you have a playlist on my channel. You guys need to check it out. It's not fair because I'm the charming guy and the guest is supposed to have the knowledge. And Pavel is a guest that has both. Not only does he have the knowledge, but he's also charming. It's not fair. So, guys, we're going to take audience questions. So be sure you're sending those to us, and I'm watching for them now. And I actually pulled a lot of questions off the video. In case you don't know, about a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago, we did a video called Guns in Russia, and we went to a shooting range. And so it's a fun, interesting, fast edited video. And it is climbing the charts on Expat American. It's going to be one of our #1 videos easily. And so it's getting a lot of views. So we decided, since we were getting so many questions off that video about what the gun reality was in Russia, that we would do this and we would answer your questions. So please send them if you can, make it all caps and give me 3 question marks. And in the meantime, I'll be chatting with these guys, and I have the questions that I could find off of the Guns in Russia video. But before we get too deep into this, Johnny, tell us, because you're wearing a cowboy hat, and that endears you to many Americans. What are your 5 favorite Western films?
You know, it may be strange, but I am not the big fan of Western movie. Of course, I watch them. And the first one I saw in my when I was small with my father, it was Magnificent Seven with Yul Brynner, the Russian guy, the famous American actor, but Russian guy. He's from Vladivostok. So it's one of my preferred. The second one is Dead and Quick.
The Quick and the Dead, I think, is the translation.
Quick and Dead. Then Train to Yuma, of course. I guess
the
it's
old one or the new one?
Old one. And of course,
Yuma. Okay.
And of course, the Wild Bunch. It's 4 preferred film for me.
What's the last one?
Wild Bunch.
The Wild Bunch. Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that is entertaining.
And I'm waiting for new version of Wild Bunch, because I saw on internet that Mel Gibson is planning to make a remake of Wild Bunch.
Really?
So I'm waiting
that
for
would be
it.
Good for him, because he's an intense guy, and that's an intense film for sure. So no, it's important, because Americans, they can connect with you and they want to know, what does the Russian cowboy think of their Wild West culture? And Pavel, they also want to know from you, what are your favorite? What's your 5 favorite Western films?
The Johnny mentioned only westerns, but Soviet Union, despite the fact it's not USA, not a very Western country, still got several real Western style American, well, Wild West style movies, just like I can mention few of them. Maybe some of you know them. Some of you, like the most popular, I think, the man from the Boulevard des Capucines, Человек с бульвара Капуцинов in Russian. Plus the White Son of the Desert, of course. Many Westerners know it. And my personal favorite, but without gun shootings, is the Ransom of Red Chief equalization, the film for the O. Henry novel. Plus, I do like the Robocop, how it shoots from the hip. Very sharp shooter.
RoboCop?
Yeah, just like the Westerners, like the cowboy style from the hip.
Yes. Dead or
Very
alive,
accurate
you're coming
without
with
any
me.
aiming. It doesn't do aiming.
I forgot one great movie. It's third part of Back to the Future. It's great. It's not a Western, but it's Western looks like a movie.
Well, it's a joke, but the Back to the Future series is pivotal, I think, for American culture. If you're my age, and I think that third film is a good starter film for like kids that don't know anything about Western culture.
Yeah.
In all seriousness. So. All right. Cool. Okay. Well,
I do like.
Go ahead, Pavel.
Sorry, I do like the Six-String Samurai. I don't know. Should it count like the Western?
Yeah, Six-String Samurai. It's nice film, but not Western, but very nice. Yeah.
Well, a lot of Westerns have copied that story. But anyway, I don't want to lose the people that don't like movies, so I'll share my five a little bit later on, perhaps. But let's get into some audience questions. Do Americans still say howdy, or only in Texas and cowboy country? Well, I guess I have to answer that question. Too bad Eddie's not here to answer it. In my understanding, and I'm from Florida, which is a southern state, but not really that southern in culture everywhere. Howdy is kind of, and I'm sorry if I'm wrong, if you're from deeper in the South, howdy is kind of a joke. It's not really something people say anymore, but maybe some people do. And then here is a philosophical question. I think maybe, Pavel, you should start off trying to answer this. So why do you think men are attracted to guns?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's something related to the nature. Like we should find our prey and find a way to kill it. As simple as that. No?
Well, I mean, in all seriousness, we are, traditionally we're supposed to be the ones to get the food and protect the family, right? So if we have an attraction to weapons, that's not a crazy idea.
Plus, we are definitely predators.
Predators?
Predators.
Yeah. I born at the end of 70s, and my generation were raised on the film, on the movies about the World War II. And of course, we were raised with idea that we one day all boys will grow up and will protect the country. So it was very logic to have the toys, the gun toys, because in my when I was a little Soviet boy, I didn't have all the toys, like only the guns. So all my toys was the guns. So, and for me it was very natural when I received the access for the air gun in the beginning, then for the firearms. For me, it was so natural to shoot and to own the gun. So for me, there is no choice. If you are man, because in Russia we have only two genders. Sorry, woman and men. So if you are man,
Let's not scare
it's very logical. It's very logic. It's very natural to know how to handle the gun, to shoot, and
Okay,
something
good.
like this.
Okay, very good. So one more audience question, then I'm going to get to the questions that I prepared based off of the last video. And guys, definitely start sending us in some questions. Believe it or not, this video is popular mostly in America, and we've been watching the numbers. And whenever America's asleep and Russia's awake, the views are down for our shooting range video. And then about this time, or in about an hour from now, the views go up as America wakes up or gets off work and Russians go to bed. So here, this question, Pavel, what is the largest caliber that you have ever fired?
I guess the 50 caliber, but for airsoft, not for the firearm.
Okay. And what about you, Johnny?
It's 50 BMG. It's Barrett 50 BMG.
Okay.
If we speak about long guns and the handguns, it's 50 Desert Eagle, the 50 AE.
Cool.
Okay. Well, for me, I would say I have no idea because I'm not a gun person. But the largest caliber I have ever fired, you can see me fire in the video we made together. Whatever that was, gentlemen, I don't know. The only other time I shot a gun was like at some country fair, something like in Back to the Future Part 3, where you line up and they just say, here, shoot in this direction. Okay, next. And then you walk on. The first question that I pulled out to start us off with this, that was a long intro, sorry guys, is Johnny, tell us what are, in general, and be as specific as you like, what are the gun freedoms in Russia? Because we have a lot of Westerners and English speakers from around the world watching, and they really want to know what is it to be in Russia? What kind of gun freedoms do you have? Okay,
first of all, if I can, I will take off my hat because it's too hot.
Please. The intro is over. Now it's time for us to get serious.
So if you want, we can, like in the interview...
Time for you guys to share the video. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry, John.
Okay. Like in the interview of our president to Tucker Carlson, I can start with short half-hour historical part. So if we speak about Russia, end of 19th century, beginning of 20th century, the gun was available for everyone, but it was quite expensive. So, of course, the people in the village, как сказать, крестьяне, я только по-французски знаю.
Peasants. Peasants, maybe.
Peasants, they haven't money for it. Maybe they have some old flintlock musket for hunting. But rich people, of course, it was not problem to buy any gun they wanted from America, from England, from Belgium. So in the beginning of 20th century, it's quite easy to find on internet the scan of old catalog of gun stores. It was huge assortment of Smith & Wesson, Colt, Browning, After 5, for example, the lever action by Winchester. All these guns were available in Russia, but it was quite expensive guns. So from in the beginning, it was no need any license or any permit. Before the revolution of 1917, it depended on the region of Russia, but maybe it was important. You need to ask the permission from the police, not license, just permission to buy some guns. For example, if you are javeler, you explain, I'm a javeler, I need to bring some expensive javelry, I need some pocket pistol for self-protection. It was not problem to receive it. So in Soviet era...
I'm sorry, so Johnny, basically you would apply for special permission and show that you needed a gun for whatever reason, and they would grant it?
It strictly depended on the governor or of particular region of Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Then in Soviet era, the traditional side-by-side or over-under shotguns were available widely in just in the sport goods stores. It was even possible to order the shotgun by post. You just send the request if you live in some, for example, far city, not in big city. So you just send the request to the gun shop, and you receive it by post. So it was quite easy in Soviet Union, but only for shotgun, and the rifle were available only for professional hunters. The hunters who work for government.
Mm-hmm. Johnny, I have a question, if I can pause you. You said shotguns were easier to get at that time, right?
Yeah.
And in America, I've heard it suggested to get a shotgun first. And so I actually bought a shotgun like a decade ago. I never used it, but I bought it because it was my right. And I put it in the attic. Why is it around the world, or so it seems to me, shotgun is like the starter gun? I mean, I have my guess, but I want to know if you know.
Because it's the cheapest one, it's the easiest to shoot.
No.
Okay, that's what I was thinking too. Not that it was cheap, it was easy. Go ahead, Pavel. You want to say something?
I think it makes sense because the shotgun is big, but it can shoot only on a low range. It's a low range weapon and still very big, and it is very hard to hide under your shirt.
Yeah, I was thinking, let's say you feel like you need a gun, but you haven't been trained. Let's say you're someone like me, right? You're out in the wild and there's crazy animals, or you're in let's say a terrible place where there's crime. Without much training, you can have it. And if someone's kicking your door in and your wife is pregnant next to you, you can it sprays everywhere. So you're going to get them somehow, and it might not necessarily kill them unless they're really close. But if they're really close, then,
Yes, but anyway. I think it's different from the government perspective because they care about safety first. So you the one who can make danger for them, for the people. So if you will carry the big stuff and would not able to hide it and would not able to hit someone from the longer distance, then you're not so big threat until they're sure that you are not insane, and that you can get the more accurate weapon.
Right. Okay, cool.
I think so.
All right, well, anyways, Johnny, go ahead.
My thoughts.
So in Soviet era, it was quite easy. It wasn't a requirement to have a safe to store the gun until the 1996 or 1995 maybe. So the first Russian, not Soviet, Russian gun law was applied in 1995 or 6. So, and due to this gun law, you can own shotguns, you can own rifles, because I see in the comments there is a lot of question about if we can own the rifles. Of course, we can own both shotguns and rifles. So normally before it was 5 shotgun and 5 rifles. Today it's just 10 long guns, and it's up to you how to combine how many rifles, how many shotguns. The biggest problem for gun lover in Russia is handguns. We have no real handguns to own. We cannot own, we cannot buy, and we cannot keep at home. We have only, I show in our previous video, we have only non-lethal pistol with rubber bullets for self-defense. Of course, we have, without license, we have pepper spray, we have electric shockers, etc. But regarding the handguns, only this stupid non-lethal weapon, and we call them condom guns because they use rubber bullets. It's from one side it's useless, from another side you can carry it, and you can shoot in the shooting club up to 15 meters. It's quite precise, so it's like you shoot normal pistol. So if you just want to train, you can use your own non-lethal pistol. If you want to shoot normal pistol, you just rent it in shooting club. It's a wide assortment of all modern pistol. You can find Glock, Chizette, Beretta, Desert Eagle, what you want. And you can ask shooting club if you want something special. Like me, for example, I organized about 6 or 7 years ago, I organized the shipment of Cowboy revolvers. So I go to the shooting club, I say I want to have some particular pistol, for example, single action revolver. They say, okay, you give us money, we will buy this pistol from the importer, and then you can use it. You can use it in your shooting club, and you can transport it to another shooting club or open outdoor shooting range for training or for competition. You can even bring it abroad. If you go to another country for some competition, you can take your pistol from your shooting club, and you go by plane with your pistol as well with your long guns. There is no problem. But specific rules of Russian gun law, that you cannot buy the rifle first. Because in the United States, of course, a lot of children received as a Christmas gift or birthday gift, they received small rimfire rifle, for example, like Henry rifle. They have the small models like Cricket, if I'm not mistaken, single shot bolt action rifle for children. Unfortunately, in Russia, it's not possible. So for the first rifle, you must wait for 5 years. So you buy first shotgun, and then you use shotgun during 5 years. If you have no problem with the police, if you didn't take any stupid thing with your gun, in 5 years you receive the license to buy the first rifle. It can be any caliber. It was a lot of question about the caliber we can own. There is no limitation. Smoothbore and rifle, no limitation for caliber. We have all caliber from rimfire till 50 BMG in rifles, and we have from 410 till 12 in shotguns. And the reloading is allowed in Russia.
Okay.
For both for shotgun, shot shell, and rifle ammunition.
Now, my question is, why did you say it's stupid? I want you to explain that to us.
I said stupid about non-lethal pistol.
Yes.
Because it's stupid because when you shoot, when, for example, you use it in the real situation of self-defense, and you use the normal pistol, theoretically, you know what the result will be. Mm-hmm. So you shoot somebody, and you understand you will kill, or theoretically, the result is you will kill somebody. With the rubber bullet, you never know the result. From nothing to killed person, because it depends where the bullet will hit the person. If it go in an eye, just in the head. Occasionally, you can kill a person if the person is, for example, it's winter and the person wear double jacket and is drunk or under the drugs. Maybe they even not feel the bullet, so you never know the result. So it's actually not a good gun for self-defense. Actually, we have a big forum, gun forum in Russia, and of course we have the section about self-defense, and we have a discussion. And I can say that due to statistics, the most useful and successful thing for self-defense in Russia, it's pepper spray. Because people have no pistols, even if you will be attacked for some bad guys, maybe they will have a knife, but nothing more. In most of situation, so the pepper spray is the most efficient, and usually it's enough to use.
Yeah, it hurts. It stops someone. So in this case,
because, especially because with the non-lethal pistol, when they start to sell this kind of pistol, theoretically, some bad guy approaching you. So you pull out your pistol, and they say, it's not a real pistol. It's rubber bullets. You can't make something for us with this bullshit. So because in normal, when you use normal pistol, when you pull it, first of all, of course, you pull it when you're ready to shoot. But if you pull it, and the bad guy see you have a gun, he will think twice before attack you. If he know it's a pistol with rubber bullet, maybe he will not think twice and will attack you immediately, because he think it's nothing. It's just, I don't know, like airsoft or something like this.
Right. So do you disagree with the Russian law then? In this
Sorry?
case? Do you disagree with Russian law in this case?
Pavel, what do you think about it?
I know very little about laws, any laws, so I'm not the guy you should ask about laws.
You guys can pass if you're not man enough to answer the question.
I think that behind any law there is some kind of truth, but still there are people, real people behind any decisions, and they do make mistakes and can sometimes make more harm than good. But who am I to judge?
What about you, Johnny? Anything else you want to say about that?
Here a lot of people say if one day it will be possible to buy a real pistol, everyone will shoot everyone. It's bullshit, actually. It's usually people who have no idea about gun law, how it's organized, because they're not so easy. It's not like in the United States. We got a lot of comments. In the United States, you go in the store, you buy the gun with no license. Yes, it's quite easier to buy the gun in the United States. In Russia, you must ask the police for the. First of all, you go through the medical check. Then when you send the request to the police, they make you background check. Then you go through the special courses about the gun safety, the gun law, and gun handling, and then you can buy your gun. It's a little bit more complicated, but at the same time, I think it's a good system because it's cut the half of the crazy or drug lovers or some bastards, etc. So it's depend on the situation. Of course, it will be nice to have such a simple situation like in the United States, but it's only in the United States. In all other countries in Europe, sometimes it's more complicated, sometimes it's less complicated. But in all other countries, you must ask for the license. There is a lot of restriction, a lot of limitation. The magazine capacity, use of suppressors, use of red dots, use of pump action shotgun, like in Austria, for example, it's prohibited. In Germany, you cannot use the red dot. You cannot shoot when walking, so you can just stand and you can shoot. You cannot shoot in the movement. So a lot of bullshit in every country, actually.
I agree.
And I would like to make the very important note. A lot of people write in the comments about the Second Amendment.
Right. The Constitution.
Yes, you can own the gun. It's not a privilege. It's your constitutional right. But I would like to remind you, few years ago, it was the assault rifle ban during Clinton era, if I'm not mistaken. It's bump fire stock ban. You cannot buy the bump fire stock anymore in United States. So yes, you have a right to own the gun, but what kind of gun? Because tomorrow bad guys from government will apply some limitation. At the end, you will own only flintlock pistol with black powder. Yes, you have a right, so you have a gun, but maybe it will be only flintlock pistol, and who knows? You have a right, but this right can be limited by special law by your government. So it's not so.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of states that limit the right for sure.
Yeah.
They make it almost impossible with different
And
rules.
for example, I know in some state in the United States you cannot buy. It's not so easy to buy suppressor. For example, here in Russia there is no problem. A lot of manufacturers who make the suppressors, and you can use it during the hunting or in shooting club, no problem.
Yeah, and I think that lawmakers are not necessarily evil, like what Pavel was saying. You know, there's reasons for these laws a lot of times, and I think sometimes it's as simple as they're looking at statistics and they're looking at insurance claims, let's say in America, and they're making decisions based on, you know, how the death rate is going and how the injury rate is going. And like, for instance, I heard, you know, a traffic light in America, the reason why they decide to put up a traffic light at a certain intersection is after 3 people die at that intersection. That's just what I heard once. I don't know how specific that is or if it was just for one county, but that was a statistic I was told. And it sounds sad, but it does make sense because you can't put a traffic light everywhere. You know, you have to have some sort of measurement. And it could be as simple as that someone was looking at, you know, the statistics in Russia and decided, well, statistically, if we take away this thing, then we'll have less deaths. You know, it's, you know, I don't know. You wanted to say something, Pavel?
Yeah, we do have the special organization that controls the traffic and monitors all the situations in all roads in Moscow and some other cities. And they do change things, just as you said. They can add traffic lights or even remove the traffic lights according to make the roads more safe. So, plus I can add about the gun law only in part of airsoft. I know about it something. Maybe it has changed a few years ago, but then I was shooting the airsoft for myself. I do have some. I can show them some of Russian airsoft guns. If you will give me some 5 or maybe 10 minutes after
feel free. You can jump off and grab it if you want.
Yeah, I will. Johnny just said that you can buy the big gun instantly and any caliber after 5 years with a rifled barrel. In airsoft, it's just a little bit different because they looking on the muzzle energy and the caliber. And if the caliber do not exceed 5.5 millimeters, then it is legal until it not exceeds the 15 joules muzzle energy. If it exceeds the 5.5 millimeter caliber or the 15 joules, that's it. You cannot buy it on any way. If you have the shooting club license or something like that, it doesn't matter. You cannot own the airsoft with just 15 joules of muzzle energy. That it's 100 times less than the average small caliber rifle.
Mhm.
And even more, if it doesn't exceed 3.5 joules of muzzle energy, it is not a weapon at all. You can buy it or maybe in a grocery store or something like that. It's just free for selling. It's just a toy. From the
Okay.
3.5 joules to the 7.5, I guess, if I do recall it correctly, this is considered not a toy, but not a real weapon. Anyone who, I guess, 16 years old or more can buy it in any gun shop without any license, without anything, just like regular toy. And
Okay.
I think this is very strange. No, you can buy the 5.5 caliber legally if you have the uh, real license for the big gun, but not more. I guess not more than a 5.5. But still, the gun shops do sell the bigger airsoft guns with no problems. I don't know why.
Okay. All right.
And
Well, I'm
I
gonna
will
start.
go and grab some of my airsoft
Yeah,
real
go ahead.
guns.
Go ahead. So while he does that, Johnny,
Joe,
I want.
Joe,
Go ahead.
I'm reading the comments online, so I will give few comments if you.
Yeah. Well, can you answer this one first? Because I want us to start going through these questions. Won't you end up in prison if you shoot someone in the purpose of self-defense in Russia?
Actually, it will depend the situation.
Okay. Are you able to elaborate?
There is a lot of condition and a lot of point of view from what police will see of the situation. For example, if somebody attack you and you shoot in his face, it's one situation.
Mm-hmm.
If you shoot in the back, it's another situation, because if you shoot in the back of somebody, it means that aggression was stopped and the aggressor go far from you and you kill him with no reason. So it's
Yeah,
a lot of special point. But in most of situation, yes, but maybe not for a long time, because it's dependent on your advocate. So it's very difficult question. What is the result of self-defense? I just
So if you shoot someone in
I just saw
self-defense, you're going to have to go to court and prove your
I
innocence.
just saw today on the internet one of the Russian party in the Russian parliament start the discussion that the self-defense in your home, when you shoot somebody, you have no problem. It's like in the United States, stand your something.
Stand your ground law.
Yeah. Stay your ground. They just started this discussion a couple of days ago in the Russian government, but I don't know if they will change the law or not.
Very good. That's very good. Yeah, I mean, if you shoot someone in the back, it makes sense that you'd have to.
In
go to
any
court.
situation, if you can run away, it's better to run away than use the gun.
Absolutely. I almost spoke in Russian there.
And
okay, so here's another audience question, Johnny.
And from another side, it's like in the how to say proverb in French. It's better to be judged by 12 or than be in the coffin. I guess
it makes sense. It's better to be judged by 12 people than to be in a
coffin.
Yeah.
It's something. So if there is your family, your children behind you, and there is some bad guy who are coming to kill them, you will use your gun with no doubt, despite the result for you. It's my vision of the situation.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. All right. So how about this question on the screen? I'm going through the question now.
There is some question about the guns. So full after is not allowed. It's only semi-automatic for both for shotgun and rifles. The barrel length limitation. The barrel must be at least 20 inches or 50 centimeter long. And the overall gun must be at least 80 centimeter long in firing position. So if there is, for example, I have a semi-automatic shotgun based on the AK, it's famous Saiga family. When it's, of course, this gun have a folding buttstock. If it's folded, it's less than 80 centimeter. In this case, there is special locking mechanism and trigger. So if it's folded, it cannot fire anymore. So when the gun can fire, it must be longer than 80 centimeters. So the magazine capacity is 10 normally. But if you shoot IPSC, practical shooting, there is no limitation for magazine you can use during the competition. If you are a sportsman, you shoot IPSC. Regarding IPSC, the two interesting facts. First, for the last 10 or 6 years, the president of World International Practical Shooting Confederation is a Russian guy. It's Vitaly Kryuchin.
Right.
Many time champion in IPSC. So the Russian is the president of, let's say, American or International Shooting Federation. It's first. And second interesting fact, it was a lot of championship in practical shooting, pistol, shotgun, and tree gun in the history. But the first IPSC championship in rifle was in 2017, and it's held in Russia, in Moscow, in Patriot Park. You was there? In Park Patriot.
Yeah.
There is a huge open outdoor shooting range, and the first in the history championship was held in Russia. And a lot of people from United States, from the whole Europe, from Australia, New Zealand, they came in Russia with their own guns, or they rented some guns here locally, and it was the first championship in Russia.
So Patriot Park is the one outside of Moscow, like an hour out of the center.
It's
okay.
About 1 hour.
There's a NATO tank video there. Very good. Are you able to answer this question on the screen, Johnny?
Sorry?
Can you answer this question?
Question on the screen? Yes, it's TOS-8. It's very good Soviet era single shot rifle, the rim fire. It's not produced anymore, but can be found in a lot of shooting club and available for rent in Russia. But some of them maybe can be owned by private shooter. But here is the question of certification. If the gun is certified before like a sportive gun, it's only available for rent in the shooting club. If the gun from the beginning is certified like sporting or hunting gun, it can be owned by the private person. But I know that some of shooter own this rifle, and it's quite good for to start to learn how to shoot.
Okay. So what rifle would you recommend a teenager learn to shoot with?
It depends the country.
So
what they have. Because I'm the Western gun lover, I prefer the lever action. So the Genry Golden Boy, for example, it's one of the best for me, I have, for example, Golden Boy, the Rimfire.
Mhm.
So for me, it's
Ivana's
the,
from Russia, so she probably is curious for Russian boys that she's friendly with.
I even have, just a second.
Uh-oh. I see 2 weapons now.
A nice Daisy Red Rider.
Oh, very good. Fantastic. I had one of those.
Yeah. I have a kit, the small one and big one for me, for my son.
Mhm.
So we use them when we go outside of Moscow.
1 more minute.
Yeah, that's still in my attic, and that a lot of Americans that don't even know about shooting, they know that gun from A Christmas Story. It's a famous comedy film. You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Very
you can check on my YouTube channel. I have an overview on this rifle. Very nice.
Oh, really? That's great.
Yeah.
All right. So, Pavel, what do you got for us?
So I failed to find my Soviet, late Soviet revolver airsoft. It's totally legal. I just don't know where to find it. I need more time. But I have found the American pistol, Crossman. Yeah, I think
Very
you
cool.
might see something like this.
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah, no, but
As
it's
you know, I'm not a gun person. I'm so not a gun person. Although this is like our number 6 video ever, the shooting range video we did. I'm probably most hated of all in that video because I did not know guns as well as I should, according to my
you are hated because of no knowledge on handgun handling. I may be most hated for my broken English. So I would like to make a special announcement for the guy who watching us from Louisiana, Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont. If you don't understand my broken English, I can repeat for you on French.
Well, he's in Louisiana. Maybe he would know.
Si vous avez des problèmes avec mon anglais, n'hésitez pas à d'écrire. Je vais vous répéter et répondre en français.
Well, I'm getting destroyed in the comments for putting my finger in the trigger.
Some people from France are watching us because I just saw some comments under our previous video on French from France, and some people from Canada. Salutations à Quebec. Johnny First here.
Very good. All right, guys. We have a question that might be a bit off topic. What was life like growing up in the USSR? Johnny, were you old enough to grow up in the USSR?
Yeah.
So what was life like?
It was great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
So
how do you compare it to life now, or life as far as you understand in the West from all the Hollywood movies you watch?
Of course, it was the Cold War era, and from time to time, I watching in my window, and I'm waiting to see the nuclear mushroom because of nuclear bomb coming from United States.
Right.
I guess it was the same in United States. They always waited some nuclear bomb from USSR. But globally, it was great in Soviet era.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's at least for me. It was. Right. I was a happy child. So.
Okay, just the threat of annihilation, but other than that, it was a sweet time. Pavel, you want to show us another weapon, but can you also answer this question? What's your opinion of what life was like growing up in the USSR?
I was a real small kid in the times of USSR, so I do not remember much, but I do remember the times of perestroika. It was
and what is that, for those that don't know?
This is the times of the very, very early state of Russian Federation.
Okay.
And everything goes wrong in that time. But still, it was bloodless revolution, so I'm not blaming anyone. It happens, and I managed to grow up and live not a very bad life. So uh, I guess it was hard. Not all of people managed to pass it and do not die, but it was a really, really free time. So the Russia was the real freedom country in that days, not like today and not like the US ever been in any times.
You mean it
So
was severely deregulated, you could say.
like anarchy everywhere, I would say something like that. In general,
What
generally speaking,
years do they consider perestroika now looking back? Do you know?
from the Soviet Union collapse and forming the new state, the Russian Federation, 1991 till the current days.
No, but
From
was this like a 5-year period or a 10-year period, or is it just a loosely defined period?
just like slowly growing economy. And the hardest time, I think, was the 1998.
Oh,
Mm,
wow. So it
yes,
lasted for at least a decade.
yeah, yeah, maybe seven. Very not, like in 1991, not everyone like immediately everything like collapsed in 1 second. No, it was the big inertia of the big country, so not everyone felt it until the real problems get in.
Right. And you're about 10 years younger than me, so
Yeah,
you were in your. Well,
just
you were
like
pretty young. You were a kid when all this happened then, huh?
yes, yes,
Wow.
just like said my friend that his grandfather stopped going to the Kamov the helicopters Kamov factory until uh, his payment was enough to buy tickets to the plant. After that, he just stopped trying to work anymore.
Oh, okay.
It's
All
so
right.
bad.
Well, thanks for being open with us, Pavel. What did you want to show us?
I can show you, if we are still talking about guns, the really rare example of Soviet air thought. This is
Mhm.
was uh, developed together with Izhevsk. Izhev Dynamics, maybe you heard about it from the Cyber Farm series, no? Uh,
I saw the first 2 episodes, and then I got distracted.
it's a bit different. It's not Izhev Dynamics, just Izhevsk. And the Zlatoust factory. Two
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
factories, just like, Abrams and Leopard in Germany. Two tanks was initially built together. They was working together to make the uh, all NATO main battle tank, and ended
Mhm.
up in separate two different designs.
Okay.
It was a bit the same, so Ijevsk and Zlatoust made very unique, not like anything in the world, uh, sport style, not the real sport, just for training. The
Mhm.
airsoft, I guess you can call it a rifle. It is a rifle, so barrel. And I do have the factory dioptric sight. It do have, but it's a bit different. It became a bit different from the early 2000s.
Mhm.
They simplified the construction. The Zlataut factory disappeared. It was bankrupt, and only Ijevsk is still producing this kind of rifles, and it's much, much cheaper in production now. It's much simpler. It's not so good, not so fine made, not so precise, and everything like that. So this is Zlatoust made rifle with stock from the Egypt because they just made better plastic.
Okay.
I made like one from two, and I
Okay.
don't want to modify it in any way because I just love how it is from the factory was made.
Nice. I see, Johnny, you want to show us something else.
Yes,
Before we do
I
that,
know
we have about...
I know the little Daisy. It's a back model.
Oh, cool. So, guys, we have about 30 minutes left. So I want to push us through the questions that I pulled off of our shooting range video. And Johnny, you can just rapid fire answer these for all of the Americans that are going to watch this when they get off work later on tonight. So what are the freedoms for a non-citizen? So if you are me, or if you're someone who's here on vacation, what is the difference, Johnny?
So if you want to shoot in shooting club, there is no problem. You do it. So there is no problem. For example, in the shooting club where I work, there are the whole booths of Chinese people are coming every day to shoot.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah. So there is no problem. If you want to move to Russia with your own guns, so I guess the process will look like this. So first you come to Russia, then you receive Russian passport, then you ask for a license, for a gun license, and you ask for the importation license, and you bring your gun to Russia. That's all.
Okay, so you would have to leave your gun in storage, come here, get residency, get citizenship, apply for a gun license, and then have your guns mailed here.
Yeah, if you want to come to Russia for, I don't know, for a week, for hunting or for some IPC competition, it's also possible. So you ask for some, you must receive the invitation or something like this. So it's mostly the question if your government will allow you to leave your country with your gun, because as I told you, the first IPC rifle championship in 2017, some of, for example, French or some shooting team from Europe, they didn't receive the permission to bring their own gun in Russia, so they rented. It's concern Kalashnikov who give them the rifle, the guns for competition. So it's maybe today, it's maybe mostly the question of your government, if they allow you to exit the country with your gun. To come with your gun in Russia, there is no problem. It's, you know, it's like a visa. For me, it's not possible to receive American visa in Moscow because the embassy is closed. So theoretically, I can go in Germany or in Georgia, Armenia to receive American visa. But there is no problem for American guy to receive Russian visa to come to Russia. Absolutely no problem, despite any sanctions, etc.
Right. And so in the shooting range, anyone can pay to use the shooting range, whether they're a citizen or a resident or just on vacation, and they can use any gun that the shooting range has, from rifles to pistols. Right?
Yeah.
And you can own a pistol, it just has to be kept at the shooting club, unless it has rubber bullets, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So de facto, it's my gun because I paid for it. But from official point of view, this gun, my pistol belongs to shooting club.
Right. Okay. Oh, I see what you mean. So it's technically, it's kind of like a partnership, I guess you could say. So someone wanted to know, what are the popular calibers in Russia?
Actually, the same like worldwide or like in United States. Of course, you have a lot of AK platform carbine in Russia, and of course, one of the most popular caliber in rifles. It's traditional 7.62 by 39. Today, of course, it's 223 Remington. It's 308 Remington. Of course, rimfire caliber rifles. If we speak about shotguns, of course, it's 12. It's the most popular. Then 16, 20, fall 10, but fall 10 maybe less. But 12 and 16 are the most popular in shotguns. So there is no limitation. So if you have a Barrett, you shoot 50 BMG or 416 Barrett. There is no problem. If you want 338 Lapua Magnum, you shoot 338 Lapua Magnum if you are a long-range shooter, for example. It's up to you. It depends on what gun you are using.
Okay. Do either one of you know if there is any regulation for archery? Someone wanted to know. I don't know.
Yes.
Pavel, you know? Okay,
Before,
let's let Pavel share, and then Johnny, you can add to whatever he does.
Before it wasn't regulated, but it's a question of the power of the if you have an arbalete or you have an arch, it's the question of the power, because if it's the power, it's in something in kilogram. If more than 80 kilogram power, it's considered like.
All right,
Sorry.
Pavel, tell us what's up.
It's up to 15 pounds and not more.
No,
50
if
pounds
it's
of string tension.
yeah, if it's more, it's considered like hunting archery or hunting arbalete. So you can buy it only with the license, like the firearms.
Exactly, and this is where easy to buy is fully legal.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you guys receive any weapons training in grade school? Or I know, Pavel, you had the university club. What about you, Johnny?
I started when I was 8 years old, maybe. We got the club with different activities for a child in Soviet era. And it was a shooting club with air guns. Then in the school, one of my sport teacher, Nadezhda Zybalova, it's a famous Russian and so famous Soviet shooter. She was world champion and European champion and world record holder. She was a famous Russian sportsman in shooting, so she teach me to shoot first with air guns, then with rimfire rifles in the shooting club. And then when I got 18, I bought my first. I didn't bought. It was my father side-by-side shotgun. And then I start to buy semi-automatic shotguns. That's traditional Russian program. When you can buy the gun, you start with the AK platform guns. It's a mandatory for the Russian shooter. So you must buy some Saiga semi-automatic shotgun, then Saiga the AK platform carbine. So Saiga, it's a citizen version of AK. So you start with shotgun, then you buy in traditional caliber 7.62, then you buy 9mm PCC carbine, and after you can go a little bit in different direction, but you start always with AK-based guns. So my choice after 10 years of AK, of course I have SKS, I have PPSH, so I have different Soviet guns, but due to my hobby, it's Western, I start to buy only the Western guns. So I have about 7 lever action gun, I have about 10 shotgun. I have original Winchesters. I have lever action shotgun, like in Terminator, in the second part of Terminator. So you can check my you can check my YouTube channel. All my guns are there. I have I make so I did a huge overview of Winchester lever action last year at the end of year, and for this spring I plan to make a huge overview on Browning shotguns. I bought 5 shotgun in December, especially for making an overview. So it will be a big overview of Winchester pump action, Browning semi-automatic, Winchester semi-automatic, something like this.
So yeah, my wife, she grew up in the Soviet Union, and she described to me that she was given military weapons training like all the kids were, I think, to assemble and disassemble weapons. So we have a question on the screen here. I don't know if you guys can answer this. How does it work for people who join the Army? Do they automatically get a gun license, and is it temporary?
No.
No?
There is absolutely no link between your Army service and your gun like a citizen. So you can maybe, if you are military for 10 years and the state give you any type of gun, like a citizen, you must make the same procedure to receive the gun like any other people.
Huh, okay, so no connection.
There is no advantage if you are military or not.
Okay. And someone wanted to know, do you guys have surplus stores like military stores? Do you have AKs available, RPGs, grenades? What do you want to say about that?
Yeah, of course, we have a lot of military surplus stores and local made brands and vintage military surplus from around the world. And of course, we have all popular brands here, like I don't know, 511 or Black Hawk or something like this. All these brands are available here. Regarding the guns, we have all popular, except the handguns. We have all guns here. If you want some IR-15, there is no problem. If you want some drilling for African hunting, there is no problem. So all, despite any sanction, despite gun ban, we have all American gun here, for example, all European gun here. No problem. It's only the question of the price, because it was a lot of question about the prices. So, for example, if you, I don't know, if POF Revolution, for example, quite popular IR platform rifle. In United States, it costs about, I don't know, 4 or 5, or maybe starting from 3,000. Here it will be 10,000. So some guns coming from United States, it's double price or triple price, because it's it cannot come directly, so it's come from third countries, and of course it's increased the price.
Wow,
but globally, if you have money, you can own any gun. But at the same time, for example, I was in the gun store a couple of days ago. You can buy a gun with $10, for example, for old side-by-side or even semi-automatic shotgun, or 20, 30 bucks for pre-owned gun. No problem.
Okay. How about this question on the screen here? VIP bodyguards in Russia. What's the story there? They must be able to carry a handgun.
Yes. Yes, they can.
Okay. All right. Very good. So anything else you guys want to say as we wrap this thing up?
Be aware, if you're going to buy the RPG-7, do not use it against the Russian tanks, because they have the dynamic armor and your RPG-7 rockets gonna be useless. So do use the PG-7 VR tandem type of ammo for the RPG-7.
Dude, what are you talking about? You sound like you're giving soldier military advice.
I'm just kidding. You cannot buy the RPG.
Okay.
Only on the black market, of course.
Someone asked about black powder gun laws. Can you guys elaborate on that or no?
We have a Russian muzzle loading association here in Moscow, and before it was a part of international muzzle loading association, but now we are separated. But it's the gun law for muzzle loading black powder gun. It's a pain for a Russian shooter, because before it was possible. Of course, it doesn't speak about handgun, any type, black powder or modern guns. It's always prohibited in Russia. But maybe 5 or 6 years ago, it was possible to buy the black powder muzzle loading musket without any license. You just come in the shoot in the gun store with your passport and you buy it. It was very simple. But the situation was that the same gun was certified 2 times. Mm-hmm. First, the same gun was certified like official hunting gun, and you must receive the license to buy it. And absolutely the same gun was available without any license. But the gun law was changed a couple of years ago, and the people who bought the rifle, the muzzle loading gun with a license, they still use it, no problem. And the people who bought the muzzle loading guns without license, they cannot use it anymore. They can store it at home, no problem, but unfortunately they cannot use it. And there is absolutely not possible to recertify it or receive it, the license for this gun. It's just, the piece of metal you can use like a hammer. It's absolutely useless piece of metal you have. So there is some problem point for us.
Okay.
But Russian muzzleloader shooters, before coronavirus especially, they travel a lot and they participate in foreign shooting competition. It's like me. Before coronavirus, I was many times. I was in Czechia, in Germany, in Italy for European Championship in cowboy shooting. So it was not problem.
Okay. How about this question on the screen? Do you guys know the answer to this? Did the United States borrow its Second Amendment from Switzerland?
I don't.
Okay, good. Johnny?
Actually, no. I was many times in Switzerland because I worked before the gun business. I worked in watch business for 17 years. So I was many times in Switzerland. I have a lot of friends. And of course, my friends, they are gun lover. And it's the gun law in Switzerland was very cool before, because the Switzerland is not in the European Union, and they have they got their own gun law before. But
right.
2 or 3 years ago, they applied European Union gun law. It's a piece of shit now. You cannot buy the magazine more than 10 rounds. You cannot buy suppressor anymore. You cannot buy full automatic anymore. There are a lot of limitation right now.
Okay. We have another Swiss question. Swiss guy here. I own about 50 firearms. Which arms could I take with me? Do you see that on the screen there, Johnny?
I have a question. Why you have only 50 firearms in Switzerland? Even here in Russia, I have a friend who have 500 guns at home. It's very strange for a Swiss citizen to have only 50 firearms.
He just does not need more.
I have to say it. Yes, you can yes, you can bring your guns except handguns. Long guns, yes. And one issue with the long guns, if somebody bring it from another country, if you bring the gun that already sold in Russia and certified in Russia, there is no problem. If you bring something absolutely new, never been in Russia before, maybe you must pass the certification. And another question is the hallmarks on the guns. Because I don't know what is the relationship with other country, but if because sometimes if we import the gun from other country, we must make special hallmark in line with Russian requirements. So maybe you will be forced to make special hallmark on your gun. It's not a problem. It's just mandatory, so you will just make it. And maybe you pass through this certification, but it's possible, but except handguns.
Okay, we have a comment I put on the screen. Can these guys be in the comments? Their links, and yes, they are in the description. They both have YouTube channels, so you can look below and see that. It's something like Johnny First and Pavel Kabanov. So I want to give these guys a chance to say whatever they want to say and answer whatever they didn't answer before we end. We're going to end in about 8 or 9 minutes, but what I want to squeeze in here, because I said at the beginning that I would share my 5 cowboy film recommendations. I'm doing so because I think Johnny First is the only gunslinger in Russia. I am a Hollywood guy. I won't go on and on about it, but if you like me, if you think
actually, I'm not the only one gunslinger here. Yes. Today,
well, I want to hear more. But let me get this in. So, guys, I won't say how good they are, but I'm just going to recommend these 5 films. And I would say High Noon, Silverado, Open Range, Big Country, and True Grit off the top of my head. So
very nice movie. Agreed.
Yeah? Which one?
Yeah.
Huh?
Very nice movies.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Johnny. So, Johnny, tell us, who are the other gunslingers before we have to go?
Actually, in Russia, we have about 6 or 7 SAS members.
Oh, wow.
So if you see here, it's the logo of my Cowboy Action Shooting Club, 7 Hill Gunslingers. So we have about 10 members today, because the problem that lever action rifle is quite rare in Russia. It was only during the last 10 years, it was about 2 or 3 achievements of lever action rifle in Russia. So it's maybe 2,000 or 3,000 lever action rifle at all in Russia. So it's quite rare gun. That's the main problem. But we have 6 SAS member in Russia, and we got first Cowboy Action Shooting match 2 years ago. You can watch the overview on my channel.
Someone made a comment about magazines and how many rounds can you hold in a magazine. Did we go over that yet?
As I told before, it's 10 round magazine limitation, except for IPSC shooter during the competitions.
And someone else has asked, how hard is it to get a hunting license? I believe a hunting license is the only license, correct? And how hard is that?
Let's say we have different type of license for the gun. First, you can receive the license only for self-defense. In this case, you can buy only shotgun, and you can store it at home in a safe, or you can bring it you can transport it to the shooting club for training, for example. It's one type of the license. The second is a hunting license. It means you can use your gun during the hunting, so you can carry it, load it without without box. So usually the people receive this kind of license, and of course you must be a member of before in Soviet era it was hunting clubs, and you must be the member of hunting club. Today you just have a special, it's called, sorry, where is it? It's called hunting tickets, but it's it's not a license. It's just the document that give you the right to use the gun during the hunting. And then when you are coming in the forest, because all the forests they are controlled by some special hunting authorities, and then in the hunting area you ask for, depending on the season, on the hunting season, you're asking for the license for some particular animal. For example, I don't know, in summer some ducks, or I am not a hunter, sorry, I have no idea. But if you want to hunt some, if you go for a boar hunting, so you're asking for a special for a license. You pay some taxes, and you receive a license for boar hunting, for example. Something like that, or for elk lighting or the deer hunting. It's up to you. But you ask for special license for a particular animal.
Okay. And I have a question here. It sounds like the answer is no. Have you ever used a firearm on a wild animal for safety reasons, Johnny?
You know, it's especially in the north region, it's a big problem, because there is no bear in Moscow on the streets. You saw it, but there is a lot of bear in some region on the north of Russia, on the Far East also. And sometimes it can be really dangerous if you go outside, and especially, for example, you go for mushrooms in the forest. Of course, you can meet some dangerous animal, and that's the problem. Because I see there is a lot of comments from Alaska. Of course, it's more or less like on Alaska. You can meet bear everywhere. And of course, it's good to have something. So if you have no license for a gun, the only thing you can buy in the store to protect yourself from a bear, it's anti-bear spray. Huge pepper spray anti-bear. Yeah, that's the problem.
Does that work well, Pavel?
I think not.
I never tried.
How about matches and hairspray?
Just like John Rambo.
Then you'll go to jail for burning a forest down. All right. Well, Pavel, do you have any parting words of inspiration for us as we wrap this up?
I would definitely recommend those who did not saw the movie A Man from the Boulevard of Dead Capucines to watch it. You will be surprised how it's very, very similar to the American vibes, despite the fact that it was not made in America. It's a completely different culture, different country, different everything. USSR isolated country, and still they know about US, but US citizens tend to not know anything about others.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. We got our Hollywood movies. That's all we see. So, Pavel, text me that film, and I'll put it in the description to be sure I get the title and year correct. And did we mention White Son of the Desert? That's a great Soviet film that is Western in style, right? White Son of the Desert?
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a movie where my cowboy alias came from. Johnny First, it's the main character of this movie. He was
really?
Yeah.
Nice,
Johnny First. It was a guy who came to the Wild West and to show the first cinema. He was in Paris, and he saw the Lumiere brothers with the first films, and his idea was that films can make the world better. The people around the world will watching good movies, nice movies, and the world will be better. And so he go on the Wild West, and he arrive in some city on the Wild West. He start to show the movies, like, I don't know, first Charlie Chaplin movies to the cowboy. And the cowboys in this movie, they become more polite. They start to say hello, thank you, etc.
Spoilers.
No spoilers. So when I joined SAS, one of the rules, you must choose the cowboy alias. So and like in the movie, the Johnny First, he was the first to bring the movies on the Wild West. I'm a first to bring cowboy shooting and Western spirit in Russia. So I decided to be Johnny First.
Very good. Well, Johnny, thanks for coming. Pavel, thanks for coming. We're going to wrap it up now. Like and subscribe, guys. Go to their channels. They're in the description. Make sure and share this with your friends that want to know about gun law in Russia and what gun life is like here. Watch our shooting range video. It's a lot of fun. And this is not my only live stream this weekend. So go to my channel. You can see the live stream coming up, which is completely different, but hopefully equally as exciting. But gentlemen, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah, keep your powder dry and shoot straight. And don't forget about safety.
Very good. Definitely, Johnny. Thanks, Pavel.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ciao.